What is up, guys? We are still here at Level Up Expo, back at it with more devs here from Wildcard, one that I'm super excited for. Brad, if you don't mind giving the people at home a little introduction to yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Brad. I come from a giant esports background, from playing in Halo to running Halo events to doing all the broadcast and esports stuff for the high-res games like Smite and Paladins, Rogue Company, everything like that, and then took a deep dive into the design side, jumped over to Rogue Company, did that, and now I'm here on Wildcard.
So very much on the competitive / esports
Oh, yeah.
side, comes from a great range of titles. We talked a lot about Halo and Smite, two of my freaking favorites. So it's good to have that experience, I'm sure. And you have, just like other people on the team, a vast level of games. You guys come from a variety of games.
Yep.
So when it comes to the esports vision for Wildcard, how have you worked that in?
Yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things from a core game, you have to kind of make the call, is it going to be a casual game or a competitive game? If you're going to be both, a lot of things and decisions you make get split. So at first we were like, hey, let's make it casual. And then the more and more we play it, we're like, dude, this game is just too fast paced. It's reading competitive. We need to just lean into that. So every decision we make is to make it a competitive game. Now, that doesn't mean that every decision we make has to be an esport, but we want people to have that adrenaline, have that vibe, have everything that you get when you're sitting down there and you want to win a game. So that's kind of the base of it. And then the esports, it just kind of has to come naturally, whether that's the community doing it or grassroots, and who knows where it goes from there.
That's a very good answer, because those almost answered my next two questions for you, because I was, you ride that fine line of competitive, and then when does competitive become esports, right?
Yep.
So is esports a goal for you guys, or is that more of like you want the community to be built first?
I think esports is a goal. So we actually do a lot of like things we're calling exhibition series right now. So we do 1 to 2 broadcasts every week right now, where we take different communities and we pair them up with top players, House and Dragoon, who we'll see on the show match. And they kind of coach them up and they play with them. So we're getting this competitive esports vibe already, like every single week. And it's really like, hey, what are the next steps to grow that?
And I know you already know this. The common sentiment out there is like, not every game needs to be an esport, right?
Yeah.
So what do you say to those people when it comes to Wildcard?
I mean, I think not. If you say every game doesn't need to be an esport, yes. But if your community wants it and it's going to grow naturally, it's going to be an esport, right? So we can say, hey, we don't want this to be an esport. Like, the game is made to be competitive. So at some point, it's going to become an esport. Like, it's just at the root of the game. You look at it, you play it, you're like, yeah, it just needs it.
When it comes to describing this game, I really wanted to pick your brain on the competitive side, because when I played this game, it might just be the freaking view model, the third person model, where I'm like, this feels like Smite.
Sure.
So what games do you think this resembles out there?
So if you look at it just from a play standpoint, anything that is third person, I mean, there's tons of games. Like, you could say Fortnite, you can say Smite, you can say, hey, the new Overwatch, third person mode they're putting out there. You can say Marvel Rivals. We do take a lot of inspiration from Marvel Rivals. They've done a lot of really cool things in their game and their cameras and stuff like that. So those are kind of the top. Like, Fortnite, Rivals, Smite are kind of like the top 3 that I would put in that.
Last question for you. We were talking to Paul and now you. When it comes to this game, what is your favorite part? What is the most defining part about this game to you?
So I am a big champion person. So I like to play the champions. I like them to be unique, have different play styles. I love PvP aspect and everything like that, right? When we talk competitive. So the summons, I look at them as different ways that I could win fights and engagements and everything, and they're supplements to my champion. So a lot of games out there, right, you're only playing a champion. You don't have all these other elements. And the summons, if you just look at them as additional abilities, you're like, cool, I have this champion, but now I have 10 cards that I can put in there. And it's basically 10 customizable abilities, if you look at it like that. So you kind of get to say, hey, here's my champion, here's how they play. I have cards I can manipulate how they play and how they help me. So in essence, if you look at it like that, and not always as a deck builder, which some people might get afraid of and be like, oh, deck building, I know how to do all that. For those people, if you kind of look at it and you say, hey, there are 10 extra abilities on my champion, I'm going to customize my champion, it might resonate with you a little bit better.
I love the way you kind of, so you play as the champion and then your summons are going to play around you.
Yeah.
I like the way you think about that. That's not the way I think about when I played the game first, but that was awesome. You have any questions, or you just, yeah, that was awesome.
Cool.
Thank you very much.